The hour has arrived. I call this meeting to order. Mr. Griffin, will you have the invocation for us, please?
Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, thank you for this day. Thank you for the many blessings you bestowed upon us. Look down on our meeting, give us wisdom, give us knowledge. Let us make the proper decisions we have to run our city. Bless the sick, the bereaved, the shut-in, all these things we ask in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Let's pledge allegiance to the flag. Ladies and gentlemen, will you stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, you've got an agenda before you. Is there any corrections or additions or amendments that you'd like to make to this agenda? Apparently, there are not any additions or corrections to the agenda. I entertain a motion that the agenda be approved.
I'll motion the agenda.
Mr. Johnson made the motion that we approve the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Purser seconded the motion. Any further discussion relative to the agenda? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the agenda is set. You have before you minutes of the February meeting, January council meetings, all meetings. You've got you've got a bunch of minutes there now.
Yes, we do.
This packet was delivered to you in plenty of time for you to have read it all. I'm just joshing. Have we really satisfied ourselves with relative to all these minutes? If we have, I entertain a motion that we accept them.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as printed and received.
Good. Mr. Griffin's made a motion, we accept the minutes as outlined in our agenda here. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded and third. Any further discussion about the minutes?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing. Lori, are you doing the minutes?
No, sir.
You're not? You're doing them?
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, it takes about as long to read the minutes as it does to be. But I'm telling you, overkill is better than not saying anything. You know, I mean, it's really good that we've got a historical record of a lot of stuff that, you know, years from now will be, you know, really useful when we're all gone and everything. And it takes a long time to read
If
them.
I knew you was gonna commend, I would have said I did.
That's all.
Thank you, Tommy. Let me say this. It takes a lot of time to put it together. And if you don't believe I know it, you ought to be me trying to get something out of the city clerk's office when this is going on. I'm working. She lets me know that she's trying to go through them, so she does put a lot in it, and we commend it. It is good. All right.
All those in favor say aye.
Yeah, oh, by the way, we didn't approve it. Thank you, Mr. Griffin, for keeping up with things. Okay, we've got a motion and a second. We approved the minutes. All those in favor, as Mr. Griffin said, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. All right, if I'm out at Graham walking, my car's broke down, and I'm walking and somebody comes along and tells me they'll give me a free ride into town, I'm gonna jump in the car and ride most likely. Well, that's exactly what Mr. Anthony King did with reference to this financial analysis that we've had the benefit, those of you that were not at the work session. He went through and sort of, I think we were aware of what he told us, but he, from a professional standpoint, did a thorough job of going through both our water and sewer fund and our general fund and giving us a pretty good healthy, I'm not so sure that the general fund it was healthy, but at any rate, he gave us a very good analysis of our financial situation. And for doing that, he's anticipating if we are in need of his services, everything that he's done up to this point is it's been the free ride from Graham into town. It cost us a dime. But he is wanting us to enter into an agreement with him relative to the fact we need to float any bonds or make any financing. that we would, of course, give him an opportunity, and this is what his contract would be. Have you had a chance to look at it?
No, it was sent via email this morning, Mayor.
Ken, have you looked at it?
Natasha has.
And Ms. Bennett, would you give us sort of a report on this, what this is, please?
Yes, sir. The mayor accurately described the contract. They do not get paid unless we do a bond or some kind of financing, and they are paid out of the funds for the bond. I believe up to $500,000, they get 1.5%, and then it's graded on a percentage as it goes up. He's not charging for any work that he's already done. It's a 2-year agreement. They did have a provision in there that made it renewable, but I had them remove that. So at the end of the term, if we want to renew it for another year, we'll have to do it by vote. It does not automatically renew, but it's pretty straightforward. They don't get paid until we do a bond or some other financing. City's not obligated them to pay out of any general funds or anything like that. It comes straight out of the money that's borrowed through the bond.
I might add, that's pretty standard to the fees and the way they do it, so that aspect passes legal muster as well.
Well, like I said, it was a free ride from Graham into town for me, or I'm just making an illustration. And we needed the expertise, and I needed a consultant to help, and I think it's beneficial. The only thing I want to share with you is that this morning, this person and I were in a little powwow, and a name came up that I was very familiar with, that's in the same business that I know real well, and he is a Jim Dandy. Now, I don't know that this one that came up this morning would have done all this work for nothing. I think Mr. King, is that his name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. King is in his group is real good. He came highly recommended, came in to do all this work. And I'll be honest with you, I think we'll sign the agreement that we'd use it like Ian and Natasha says, this is, I don't think you're gonna improve it if we do need somebody to help us. So I think we owe it to him to put in, how long's he been working on this thing, 3 months?
Yes, sir, right at it.
Right, 3 months' work. He did a lot of work for us and has familiarized himself with our situation. I would, in spite of the fact that I, this morning, thought of another fellow that I could have called on that I've known much, but I don't know this fellow till he came along. But I knew the other fellow that come and I talked about this morning, he's a crackerjack too. But at any rate, I'm gonna recommend that we sign the agreement.
I'll make a motion to sign the agreement presented to us from Mr. Anthony King.
Good. Is there a second to this motion?
Second.
Mr. Johnson has seconded the motion. Is there any further discussion about the entering into the agreement with, what's the name of the company?
Kidwell and Company.
Kidwell and Company, and its agent that's handling this is Mr. Anthony King. Any
Yeah.
further?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Natasha, you said, you only mentioned bonds.
It's any kind of financing that we do. And generally, the city will do any kind of bond. Their main source of income will be the bonds. We renew the water and sewer bond, or if we do the proposed bonds for any airport improvements in the packet.
I guess my question is that, like in the past, this latest loan we got, I think it was from G or
USDA.
USDA. And I guess that, did associates and local, who handled that?
Algae does the city.
Yeah.
CDBG.
Yeah, associates and local government, city. But this is saying that we won't use, if we're doing GFA loans or USDA loans, that we won't consider ALGA, we'll go.
I'll
Is that
clarify
what this
that.
is saying?
We won't need them, Tommy, I can tell you. This will handle
But they
that.
charge about the same thing, Ken? I mean, that's what you're saying? Okay, I don't have a problem with that, okay.
And we're not divorcing, Phil and, Sarah.
Yeah.
We can't live without them, and this is certainly not a divorce. But in this particular case, if we come up with something that we have to put these folks on to come up with some dollars, they know how to do it, and they've got the information, and we're entering into agreement with them. And it's like you say, it's 2 years.
Yes, they are. If I understood it, they're just mainly doing consulting work. Because we're still gonna be able to use our bond attorney, Jim Pennell, that we've always used. I verified that. So I would say that we'd still be able to use like Sarah Davis and them. I think he'll be more of an advisory, advising the city as far as its long-term financing plans.
And I think this project.
Well, the thing is, he's done stuff for us that associates and local government systems.
And we're not able to do that.
That's right.
So,
Not able.
I don't have any problem at all signing
I'm okay with
this contract. I don't think anybody else does. We've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor of entering the contract with Kendall and Company, Mr. King, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Mr. Kendall and King and Company,
Kidwell
Kidwell,
and Company.
we entered into agreement with you, Everton, and we're probably gonna be using them. Okay, Ms. Lori, you're on the floor, and last time you were very good and thorough. Tonight, I want this in teaspoon form.
Can I have my money?
About as teaspoon form as you can get.
Okay, yesterday, I worked until 7:30. I ran both systems, both computers. 35% difference. They're still crashing out. It's not all human error. The system is failing. Now, the registers will be replaced in this. Maybe in 8 or 9 years, we'll be more financially stable, and we can go out and change all the bodies out. The bodies will not last past 20 years. Okay, the bodies won't last.
With the
Let
rest.
me,
Right, the bodies.
let me ask you before you go, let me make sure, the registers,
Right, the
what is that? That's the
It's
part
just-
that you
It's just
read?
the little, yeah, just the
Okay.
little metal part.
Okay, I got,
And it's got,
and
it's got
the
a
other
shrink.
thing you said,
Yeah, they said
The-
they great.
The body.
the body is what the
rest
registers
sits on
fit in.
top.
The body's got the mechanics in it,
Okay.
and the register measures the flow.
Rory, if you check to that audit we do, there was some grant money that Chief and all them gave out. Is there anything left in that for,
This year was worse than it was last year. Last year, they didn't offer but 10,000.
well, I mean, anything to help, I mean.
This year's like 2,000, and it's already gone.
Lori, what's the total amount of the request?
209,000.
How much?
209,000, but I need 210. I just gave it a solid round
Yeah.
figure.
The, okay, I was hoping, have you got something to show him what you're talking about there,
Yes.
Kim?
That's the
All right.
register.
I don't, she does.
Okay, Hector.
You explain it.
This is the register, and on the paper I showed you, it has the 2 little purple batteries in it. Once they fail, you don't read.
And you can take that out without cutting the water off or disconnecting the pipe. That sits inside the meter, and that's the guts of it,
This is what's failing.
yeah.
This little piece of
Each one
shit.
has got some little computer in it.
Bland, and forgive me, didn't you and I at one time say that we thought we could do this for about $100-something every year for the next few years?
Well, that's the way the agreement is set up to the price, but I don't see how in the world we have them change out 6 months.
Well, that's another thing, they gotta have these things turned back in.
Right. If we could split it up somehow and sign an agreement that we only got a certain amount of the time, then say a book at a time, but we sign the agreement and get them.
I got enough in there right now to do one book.
Okay. But like I say, I'd like to see how long it's gonna take, but they're gonna have to be careful, because they can't break these meters.
That's right,
They're gonna have to be careful with them.
that's right.
Yeah, it's
But
less.
you gotta remember, my fail rate is going up every month, which means
Oh,
revenue.
yeah, we're not questioning that, we're saying that we wanna bite it off in smaller bites, and, but listen, we're not putting water on you, we appreciate what, you've done a lot of work on this, and we're not fixing to put you out of business here. But just as a matter of discussion, we've got to change so many at a time, we only have the staff to handle so much at a time. Now, we're fortunate enough that we put on some part-time help that can
And I
handle.
want them.
Okay.
They're in my quote.
You know, look, can I ask something?
Sure.
Lord, you know, people, these, so many people in these big organizations use acronyms, and I know I half don't know what.
Yes, sir.
But when you say you got enough to do one book, what are you talking about? Book?
A route. See, your
Right, okay.
water meters, or your bill starts with a 3.
How many routes do we have?
I have 8 routes.
Okay. You answered my question.
Yeah, I have 8 routes.
Now, is each route gonna cost $210,000?
That's everything.
This is everything.
That's everything.
That is everything.
I thought this was biting off a portion, You changing all registers?
Well, if we don't agree, or get them to agree, let us buy a shipment at a time, it would cost $300,000 doing it piecemeal.
But then we can't get them all in that deadline, I don't
They're-
know.
They
But
give
you
me,
can sign an
they
agreement with them to take some of
give me a
that.
wonderful price.
I understand that, but how do you think we can change that many that quick?
Well,
I don't-
EVI came in and changed the whole entire system in less time.
And the thing is, we're losing revenue,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
I'm in favor of
I'm all about
letting
some
off
money
the
now.
the best we can.
And
That's my-
like I said the other day, it only takes her a day or a day and a half, depending on the weather and all this, to read the meters. And it takes my men 7 man-days to go back and do recheck.
So
We're not ahead of what we were when we.
we're not just
were-
talking about losing revenue coming in, we're talking about paying out more revenue that, when they could be doing something else
Absolutely.
there too.
Absolutely.
But now, okay, that's fine, okay, but now how can we get all of this done and get these old registers that we take out, and when's the deadline, we gotta have it back to them?
December 29, 2017.
By the end of the year.
You don't think you can do it that amount of time?
I feel like we can, if we keep the,
Hey, I didn't even have Opie down here to help.
I didn't say I'd help, I'd get a few minutes.
I mean, I'm begging everybody to help.
The hard part's
I
taking
just
over
wanted,
without.
I just wanted
messing
to
up.
make sure everybody's got the picture here. It's not a simple task. Some of them, they're automatically read, some of them's under dirt, this, how deep, Lori?
Some of them's 2, 3 feet.
Well, I don't think quite that
People
much.
like the prisoners, they can't do that.
No,
You gotta
no.
remember, they don't care.
Well,
We
you're
need
right.
people that care.
every time.
I mean, I'm thinking that they might go out there with a shovel and assist somebody.
I don't know,
That's
they
what
show them
I'm
break
thinking.
food and
Mhm.
things.
Every time the register gets broken, it costs $50.
$50. That's that $50 I'm saying.
Well, look, I'm for it. I understand what you're saying. It will, in the long run, make us money. It'll stop the revenue loss. And I'm just worrying about the deadline.
Let me ask one of them, even if we don't make the total deadline, don't we get some credit for getting part of the deadline? I mean,
You know, let's say for instance, I ordered, right off the bat, I ordered 500 meters,
okay,
okay? Let's say I had them all back by then, no problem. If I ordered 500 more, they wouldn't charge me for that first 500, but they would charge me for the next 500 if they weren't.
if, well, what if we got 400 of them? They charge us for the whole 500?
No.
Okay, so we get credit for whatever we do, and then we have to pay a premium for what we don't get done.
Right, we'll have to
I'm
pay
okay with
50,
that.
we'll have to pay $50 a meter for the other 100 that's not turned back.
But how many total registers are we gonna buy?
I said 1,700, I think I can get by with not all of those.
Those you think that are still alive and performing well, you leave them alone. Start with the ones that are absolutely not working now and work up. And, okay. I just wanna make sure everybody knows what's going on there.
We,
I'm
and
okay with that.
I have a question, when you order these, what is the turnaround time for them to get them to us from the time they're ordered to?
Right.
Is that going?
Sometimes they're on the shelf, which in this case they are.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to wait because they're made in Israel, okay?
That's right.
They're made in Israel.
But
I see your point, if they're not here before 2 months before December, why should I have to pay the fine?
And then if we have to wait 60 days to get a group and then we can't get it back by, that's the kind of thing that I wanted to throw on the table.
Right,
that's the only thing that may put a wrench in the actual deadline there is if they don't have them.
I'll iron all that out with Mike before I ever place it.
We had one time with over shipment, they were back over 3 months.
And then, yeah, and then what's that gonna do to our deadline?
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
can't we approve it, and then if we find out it's gonna be 2 or 3 months, that we can revisit it at
Yes,
the
sir.
meeting?
Hey, I'm happy with
I think
that.
this, I think we all know that it needs to be done. The registers are old, they're dying, and I think it needs to be done, so heck, we
Doing
should.
doing
And I
the
told you,
registers now will give us some extra revenue we can build up when it comes time for the bodies to be replaced, which is the mechanics. Then we'll be in a more financial situation to do a little bit at a time.
Okay.
okay, gentlemen, you've listened to it in work session. She put it in teaspoonful form, when she walked over and said she wanted some money to do it with. We all know what's involved, and we chewed it to death. I think the time is to get off the pot. I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to proceed with replacing the registered, just registered,
Up to 210,000, is that right?
up to 200.
That's the cutoff. Don't need more.
Okay, all right. There's a motion on the floor to approve the purchase and installation of registers for our complete water system up to $210,000. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Griffin is second. Now then, is any further discussion?
One question, is
Yes,
there
sir.
anything, there is no, elevation to the public when we change these?
Oh, no, this has got nothing to do with rates.
Nothing to do with the rates.
Nothing to do with rates. Not, hey,
If it
not,
elevates,
hey,
it's not
hey,
my
not
fault.
now.
Ready to go.
Just-
Ready to go.
Now, it will elevate some folks' rate whose meters have been
Oh,
in.
yeah, I understand, but, find out what.
And also, I'd like to just say that, just so everybody out there that it was a privilege to hear the complete presentation we made, that we have the money to do that in the water and sewer. So it's not like we're gonna have to go out and borrow money. Plus, it's gonna over time replenish that money. So it's an investment, is what it is.
I'll
It's not
get big
expenditure as
meters
much
and little bit, I'll get everything done with what you give me,
Right.
okay?
Struggle to get them in here and then blend with this part-time help and whatnot. I think with getting them, and Ms. Bernice and I and y'all have already been working on how to handle that. I think we can meet the deadline, and we're gonna try to do it. Any further discussion? I think we chewed it to death. I mean, ready for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Now, here's the biggie. This is what
Not
you
that
were,
bad,
this is what you worried about.
not that bad.
This is pertaining for those of you out front that don't have all the information that we have. This is relative to the commercial garbage pickup. The county has gotten out of the garbage pickup business, and a lot of the customers have gone to Republic and trying to get replacement to get their garbage taken care of in dumpsters and whatnot. And they're shocked that the county and they think the city's gonna give them the service. But at any rate, to make a long story short, again now, teaspoon form, we've already worked it to death. Try to give everybody here a picture of what we're trying to do.
Basically, I gave all of you gentlemen a packet where I visited surrounding cities about their rates. Everybody's using Republic in some form or fashion, okay? But we can still raise these rates and still beat Republic, okay? We're not hurting the commercial accounts, by no means. Raising the rates will compensate Jeff Jones and his men and the wear and tear on their vehicles, plus upgrading their dumpsters. Okay, we're not hurting anybody. We're saying, if they don't like ours and they go back to Republic, it's even higher, it's even higher. Now, I was approached by the school. That's something that you guys are gonna have to iron out. I gave him a figure before we was presented with maybe possibly raising the rates because of all the issues. We have people literally stopping in the middle of the road, putting their garbage from the county in residents' cans. Okay, that's how bad it's got.
But now, let's do this, and let's move as quickly as possible.
The
now.
school system,
Listen, let me interrupt you just a minute now. The polycart price, we're charging $15 now. And you're proposing we go from 15 to 21.25.
that's commercial only.
I
Commercial
understand.
only.
We're talking about commercial now. So the commercial accounts, and I know, for instance, our church, a lot of
You
people.
got one and you're looking at me like,
That's okay.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay, Tommy, your commercial account, you got one that's handled?
I've got one.
You've got one.
Will they, is that per pickup?
It's $21.25 per pickup.
And I think they come to my place twice a week.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
All right, now, is everybody familiar now with the polycart? the little small one, 15 to, or, then the next size dumpster, honey, is what size?
It's a 6-yard, that's the only size we carry is a 6-yard.
We don't have the bigger one?
No,
Okay.
sir.
All right, the next size is a 6-yard that they pick up with the.
The truck.
And truck, and where's the price on it now?
The price of it would go from $40.91 per pickup to $72 even per pickup,
Get me on the right page now.
be the first page.
Very first page.
It ain't on my first page.
It'll be a 76% raise,
Yeah, on the 6-yard dumpster.
On the
at top of
6-yard
the page.
Oh, you don't give me dollar figures?
$72.
Oh, you giving it to me now? All right, what, let me write it down. All right, and what is the rate now that we charging?
We charge $40.91.
Okay, that's what we'll make sure we get on the record here. We're charging $40.91 per pickup.
Yes, sir.
All right, and if they pick it up twice a week now, we're charging $40.91 twice a week.
82,
All
$81.82.
right, and you're proposing that it go to what?
$72 per pickup.
That's,
44.
you asking Mr. Johnson what that is, that's the right sizable increase, but now let me tell you what. Y'all know the situation of the general fund here. The general fund we've been struggling and worrying with it. This will have a good effect.
Now, Kim and I also did some research on the refuse that we take out, that she has to have hauled off to the solid waste landfill. It's going up $2,000 a month because of the extra coming from the county,
Now, you told us something, what does Republic charge per pickup?
$112.50.
$112.50.
And that's the reason the Board of Education told me to come back to us.
All right,
So I think they would accept the $72 gladly.
all right, and one other thing, as I remember, I had eye surgery Monday, so I didn't get to go to the Board of Education meeting, but as I remember, they sent me an agenda, and the agenda, I think, had it on there to discuss the waste disposal. Well, then when Dr. Wren sent me the synopsis of what went on in the meeting, I didn't see where they acted on it. Have you heard anything else?
I spoke with Chuck Crosby Monday morning,
Okay,
and I told him that I would have him something.
Monday morning, so that was
Yes.
before the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
Yeah,
told him
but
I
he's
would
called
have
me
him
since
something.
then
Okay.
and wanting to know when we gonna give them a price.
okay.
He's
That's what I
called,
wanted
and
to
he's
know.
been
I
calling
told
Gordon
him I
and
would have him
myself
something.
every 2 or 3 days wanting to know. Apparently, how long, Ricky, how much longer, are y'all still picking up?
Yep.
Y'all still doing it? How much
Y'all
longer?
fixing to quit.
How long have y'all given them to make up their mind?
They said they have it, February, March.
It's gonna take us longer than that.
I guess that's what he's calling about every other
I
day.
mean, we've got to order him for
It's gonna take time to
6.
build these dumpsters too.
Right.
Yeah, right, see, this cost here also to help offset the cost that we got. to
Now
pay.
Jeff's already put an order in for Marty to build 6.
So we got some working now.
Right.
We
So
not,
we do better and the school board does better.
That's right. That's right.
or any other now, I had to, all right, that's the only size we got. It's the frequency of pickup. We're charging now 21, depending on the frequency of the polycar, 21, 45, and we're gonna charge $72, depending on the frequency of the pickup.
And also, if the commercial owner wants to negotiate their pickup or adjust it the way they need to, that's fine with us. We can work with them. We can, we can back off on their pickup if they need it backed off. That's fine. We
Good.
don't have any problem.
All right, and then, let me say this, and I don't know why Jeff isn't here, but I've talked to Jeff a lot about this. Jeff tells me that except for the dumpsters and polycarts, which is we're always short,
Mhm.
except for that expense with the equipment that we have, and maybe a little additional labor, not much,
Mhm.
we can handle this, and it will, we're not, as we said, we're below our competition. We're keeping it within house and serving our people, and we're gonna be where we're gonna make a little money on it.
And I also want to say this, and Ricky, what y'all did out there with those, I applaud you 100%, with the websites, I mean, the disposal
Dump
sites.
site.
It needed to be done for years, and I'm so glad it got done. But one of the byproducts of that is that people that don't want to abide by the hours, and they're bringing the trash into the city, so the city taxpayers are having to. So that's another reason we've got to go up, because we've got to pay now, not only for city garbage, but for county garbage.
Well, we have the
And
same-
again, that's not a complaint.
Right, well,
That's fine.
we're having the same problem.
Yeah, we've counted divided the county.
That's right,
Exactly.
city's going out to the county too, you know, but.
Y'all, as
Yeah, but
you,
we pay for, the city residents pay for that service.
Right.
The county residents don't pay for it, the people that live outside don't pay for that service.
That's right.
So it's different.
y'all, there's one right over there on the other side of that church, on that street, going right over there, and I'm looking at the street right through that window there. There's one on the end of that church down there, and those people called me about it several times, I don't know exactly how many. What goes in that dumpster, and it's at such a easy place, and everybody can see it right down there, look there, there's the dumpster right there. You'll be surprised, that one dumpster right there, what is done by that thing, and it comes from everybody in the world, that's their dumpster, by there, and it's even a church. So it's a heck of a mess, and the county's washed their hands of it, and we're fixing to get back into it a little bit more, but maybe we can handle it and cover our costs, and I'm hoping, Mr. Johnson,
Well, let me tell
I'm
you.
hoping with this increase that we don't
The reason
I
this
wanted
is
to
going
push
on,
on.
well, yeah, I made a call, I talked to him. I was concerned not about this, and Jeff and I talked, but I wanted to make sure that we could help our, the businesses. I didn't wanna go up to put pressure, too much pressure on them at one time. I always like to do things in
Right.
increments because of, we got to change it. They know you got to make it. They know you got to do this in order to help them. But like you said, if they can work with you to cut back on,
Right, if
because
they
some
get
of them
picked
don't
up
need
twice a week and they decide they may
Yeah.
not need that, I
So-
can adjust it.
that was the call that was made, and it ain't anything, just a question I
Right, okay.
asked. All right.
Well, they've convinced me, Dwayne, that,
Yeah.
this is below any competition, they can't go anywhere
That's all I
else get
want
the
to
same
make sure.
service.
that we
This-
wasn't
this is-
hitting them too hard.
This is my 8th year on the council, and Jeff Jones has told me he periodically checks what other people charge in other counties. And every year he does, he said, we're cheaper than everybody else
We're
around.
still
So,
Alright.
gonna cheaper.
and we still are.
All right, what else have we not covered with this item? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, let's quit picking it to death. I entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the proposal as presented by Lori.
And, okay, is there a second to this motion?
I'll make a
Mr.
second.
Griffin has seconded the motion. We've worked it to death in work session, and we've chewed it to death in the council meeting now. It's time to, all right, all in favor of this, motion, any further discussion? I wanna make sure everybody's happy.
He don't look happy, but
Yeah.
okay.
All right, hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, Glory, you bet 1,000.
Well,
One other
this
quick-
is yes.
One other quick question, never mind, I'll talk to you after the meeting. You gonna stay here for the whole meeting?
We're not having these private meetings.
No, this is about my personal business. So, my personal,
He's already trying to shake the.
my business.
I was just quoting
It's
some of
already
your
like
language. I was just joshing, that's some of your language sometimes. All right, we're moving along. Where in the world are we now? Somebody tell me. Number 8. Y'all, let's hold off on this. We've got that aerator 2, which is the side of the treatment plant on this side, where we might, I'm thinking about having a dance out there. We got this floor so nice and clean.
We're watering it yesterday.
Just a little bit, but it's mighty good shape. We may have a dance out there. I've had paint specialists now. I've had to come in and go look at it. And finally, Sherwin-Williams, industrial paint consultant, does a lot of this work. He says, that's what I do. This is what I do. He went inside that plant, went over with his knife and started looking. He said, Mayor, he said, I want to sell you some paint. I got exactly what your people have specified to put on there. And if it's to put on there, I want to give you a bid price on it. But it says, from what I see here, 90% of this paint coating can last a while longer if you want it to. There's not that much rust there. He says, but now let me ask you to do this before you make up your mind and before you listen to me. He says, get this thing clean, get all the material off these walls, and then let's come back and look, and we making, you know, we got one bid on this thing for $50,000. And I told y'all, I've already talked to one other fellow, he said he thought we could do it for almost right at half that price. Well, this man tells me that we may, and since we're gonna keep this plant clean and occasionally have it down, and we can, according to what they're telling me, this thing can be rolled on if you got it clean properly. In fact, I'll roll it on, you don't have to get it in the spread. So I'm saying right now, I've asked you to give us a few more days. Let's let these specialists that I'm bringing in look at this thing, and if we don't have to spend this money right now, let's leave it in the bank. So I'd like to just hold off on this till we get through. See, we've got about 3 weeks before our diffusers and new aerators and all come in. So we've got a little bit of time to work with this thing. So give me a little time to keep looking, and we may can save this money. Blaine, you got anything to say on that?
Good.
Opie?
There are some bad spots, but we can touch him
Well, he said we could probably lose and touch those up.
That's why I said we do
Yeah.
it.
So he says that it looks at that thing, a lot of our coating in there is good. He said it's hard as a rock. And he said you're not gonna have any rust there. There's some areas, that, like you say. But anyway, let us look at it a few more days. Just leave that alone if that suits with y'all. Does it suit you?
I'm good with that, as long as they're good with that.
All right.
Opie and I have rolled on treatment plant before.
I just, as long as y'all good with it, I'm good with it.
I'd rather do that than a sprayer.
Yeah. That is expensive.
And particularly inside that enclosed area.
Well, it ain't just that, you gotta thin it down, and that stuff is, you got it over and over and over and over
All right,
again. and just wear
okay,
it
all
out.
right, well, we're working on it, just leave it alone right now. Okay, Ms. Lopez, are you handling this? Who's handling, Eric, you handling this?
On the number 9.
Yeah,
217 IRS mileage rating reimbursement. This is for reimbursement for mileage for business driven for the city of Hazlehurst. We're currently at 44.5. IRS standards and everything for, this is beginning on 2017, they have gone to 53.5 cents per mile. I'm gonna make a motion that the city go to the IRS rate of 53.5 cents per mile for business travel and everything for the city of Hazlehurst.
they ain't gonna do that, did it? Okay, got a motion and a second that we go to the new standard state applied rate for mileage. Is there any further discussion? Yes, I've got some discussion. It's like Thomas said, it's a personal matter. When I came in here, I came back in office here a month ago. I came in here on March 2nd. I had 32,000 miles on a 2-year-old car. It's 70-something thousand today. I've been here 12 months, and it's gone from 32 to 71 point something. I'm right at 40,000 miles I put on an automobile this year. And it was like, you go look at and I can show you the service agreement. So let me tell you something else. I enjoy this job, I love it. I'm putting a lot of my life into it. And I'm wearing out automobiles for the city too. So we talk about mileage reimbursement. I think I don't need to do it. I think I'm telling y'all to look at the situation. And I don't think the mayor, I put 108,000 miles on a car 4 years ago when I was in here. It looks like it's gonna be that much or more this year, probably this time. At any rate, I'm not getting compensated either, but that's another day. All right, if we approve, everybody in favor of this, say aye. Any opposed?
Yep, no, but I want to, go ahead, no. I want to ask.
What?
We've approved it, right?
We've approved it.
Oh, well, let me just say, I thought we voted to give the mayor $100 a month.
You're giving me $400 a month.
400, okay.
$400.
So you are getting reimbursed a little bit.
I'm getting something. If you put 400 times 40,000, you figure it out.
Okay, that's okay, but I
You
just
don't
wanted to
want
say,
the value
you
of
said
the
you
car.
weren't getting paid, and I thought we were paying.
No, I got a little bit more, you're right, your memory's pretty good, Tommy. But I tell you what you do, you put your pencil behind it. Put your pencil behind it and just remember what I told you at budget time. All right, let's go on here now, Ms. Lopez, I think you handle this number 10.
Yes, sir. Our work session again is falling on Good Friday for April the 14th of 2017. While the employees will be off that day, I would like for the council to keep the work session for that day. I will be in here. While our doors will be closed to the public, I would like for you all to consider going ahead and having your work session for April the 14th at 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock that morning.
Yes, sir.
Entertain a motion to, according to Ms. Lopez's request.
I make a motion.
Mr. Griffin's made a motion that we hang on to our work session on Good Friday at 9 o'clock that morning. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Purser. Any further discussion?
Never occurred to me to change it.
I sure didn't want to either, Mr.
I
Tom.
may ask them, is there gonna be anything in paper saying that City Hall is closed that day?
Yes, sir, we normally
You
have.
need to put a qualifier, but there will be a public work session,
Okay.
so we don't get one foul of that.
Right.
Just make sure you put that little thing with it.
Got it in, y'all, Mr. Purser and whoever puts the ad in the paper, you know what to do? If you don't consult Mr. Smith, he'll tell you. All right, all in favor of continuing our schedule on Good Friday, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, it's carried. All right, let's go along. City clerk is going to Griffin on March the 22nd and 23rd. She wants you to approve, she's already registered for it, and I think she may have sent them some money too, but she wants a after the fact approval. I entertain a motion, we approve the travel and expense for Ms. Lopez. Mr. Johnson made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Purser, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's carried. Fire chief is going to Savannah on some training on April the 18th through the 21st and April 21st through the 26th for additional training that's required. I understand, Mr. You don't need to say anything about that, do you? I entertain a motion that we approve the travel and training for for our chief, fire chief. Mr. Johnson made a motion, we approve it.
Second.
Second by Mr. Purser, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Charles, Chief Washington, come up here to this place right here and be further brief, please.
It'll take me about 20 minutes, huh? Let me say real quick, just to let you know, that, all that training is not gonna cost city nothing other than some meals for one of them, and the other one's EMA, so it's county, so very little cost to the city and either one of those training events, so. Real quick, what I want to talk to you about is we've had an issue for some time, and we've had some issues that arose in the last rain, but we've got quite a bit of rain issues going on with the fire station at headquarters, on both the east and the west end of the building. So we've had a contractor just look at it, kind of give us an idea what we need to do. What I would like to do is ask the council to approve us to get some bids on this, say to come back to you on it, because it is something that's needed. We had an issue several years ago with some leaks and it caused some mold, and I want to try to get this took care of when we have that same issue. This building is 30 years old, so it's we're going to start having some maintenance issues on the problem.
Chief Wilson has gone ahead and done some preliminary looking to sort of see about what we're talking about. And with a professional panel looking at it, it's approximately $10,000 plus or minus, something like that. So all he's asking us to do now is for us to authorize him to get bids to re-roof the main fire station, and we think it'll be approximately $10,000. To get bids don't cost a dime. Once he gets the bids in and we look at them, that's when we spend money.
I'm making a motion to authorize the chief to get bids on it.
Okay, is there a second to the motion? Mr. Griffin, second to the motion. Any further discussion?
Now, you talked several years ago, we had issues, that was on that the workout facility, right?
Yeah, there's still issues there, so we're addressing the whole building.
Oh,
This is to address
Complete new roof.
both ends of the building, and not completely new roof on all of it, but it's to address the situation problems. We have some problems also where there's a radio antenna that we use for our radios, that's got to be addressed. So it's going to address all the issues we have at this time that is.
But that work you did 2 or 3 years ago
That's no good.
Really?
No good.
It was
Worse.
prison labor, and it was just,
So now we have rain here, here.
I got
We have
you.
rain in the main building's caused from that, so it's, so we're gonna address all these issues with the water. We got rain coming in the office areas, we got rain coming in the truck bay areas, so this will address all of it.
All right, I'm gonna make a suggestion to you, we might need to amend our thing here. I don't see why, you go in and work on this area of the roof, and this area of the roof, and I've had a good experience for that before, right? What do you estimate the whole, put a complete roof on it, and somebody guaranteed it to be good for 20 years?
For the whole boat, everything,
Yeah,
I don't know, probably, I would say between $18,000.
let me tell you what I'm gonna suggest to you, I'm suggesting you get a price like you're talking about, patch it, and I'd suggest you get a job to re-roof the thing and put a warranty on the thing for about 20 years.
That might be.
That's fine, I mean, if y'all wanna do that, I'll be glad to do it, whatever.
I mean, and even after we talked the other day, I thought about it and didn't call you back, but if we're piecemealing it this and this, and you still got everything there.
And where they
no
meet,
warranty,
and where they meet, and you got a leak, I'd do a lock and key thing, and fella got through, if there's a leak, I'd be caught looking at it.
A couple years ago, when we had the issue, we replaced a couple pieces of tin on one side, so that stopped that leak, but we still have leaks.
If you're talking about our estimate now, doing this work that you want done is around 10, and you say the whole job would cost 15, I wouldn't,
Now, that's preliminary, don't quote me on that.
I
Don't put that in the newspaper, because I don't know.
It don't cost nothing to get bids.
Mary Ann, leave the money out, please.
Ladies, have we got a motion on this already? Did somebody make the motion?
Yes.
I think Tommy.
Tommy and
He
second
got
by
it.
Rick.
Tommy, won't you amend your motion to say get bids on, re-roofing the fire?
I think the motion was we authorized the chief to give bids,
Okay.
Yeah.
so we're okay.
Okay.
You
All right,
bids
I'll get
wherever you
both
want.
Yeah.
I'll get it both ways.
Did you second it, Mr. Griffin? I think you did. Now, any further discussion? You sort of know what we kind of think you ought to look at. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carried. I think it's all.
I have a motion. Make a motion that since we've had a week to review the items on the next three, items 14, 15, and 16, we have them all in one motion.
That's a tremendous
In fact,
motion.
I'd make a motion we approve that we've had a week to look over. It's not like this, so. Of course, we have time for discussion.
And it's 14, 15, and 16. Those items, Mr. Purser's made a motion, and y'all, for the benefit of the audience out there, it's nothing but the normal report that we get on, plus or minus number pickups on this, and the water adjustments, and somebody came in and fussing about their busted pipe, and it's just mediocre stuff. And Mr. Purser's made a motion that we approve all three of them. Is there a second? Mr. Johnson has seconded. Any further discussion? I'll call for vote. All in favor of approving and accepting 13, 14, and 15, say aye.
15, 16. 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, 13 was, well, 14, thank you, Tom. All in favor of approving those three items, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's taking care of that business. All right, we're going to citizens' comments. I can tell we've got a, yes, ma'am.
I need to mention to you, I've actually just registered Opie to go to class, and I did not realize that he was going to class before the next meeting. So I need to get him approved for travel for April 11th and 12th for his wastewater recertification. He gets 12 points for these classes, and he has to pass 24.
I had already reviewed that, and I make a motion we approve that. I've looked at it.
Okay.
He needs to go to it.
Yes, okay, we got a motion by the commissioner in charge of the water department that we approve Opie's travel and before our next meeting. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Griffin. Any further discussion? Call the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Done. What else? All right, now, it's citizens' comments. I can tell y'all ready to comment. You look to there, it's not employees, we're talking about citizens. You're not a citizen. Hey, you're not a citizen.
No, I just wanted to thank Ms. Bernice and the council. Lori and I have both been here. I've been here 20 years almost. Lori's been here 22. And we've been allowed to go to school and learn things that we've been here this long and never knew why things were the way they were. And as the mayor has stated before, we go to these classes, we learn just enough to be dangerous with it. But I wanna thank Ms. Bernice for allowing us to go out and see why things are the way they are with the jobs that we've been handling and never knew where the monies were coming from and stuff like that. I mean, we were never been allowed to go to any kind of training. But I wanna thank Ms. Bernice for allowing us to do that.
You're welcome. You'll be going to more. I'll encourage it.
That's an employee and a citizen, by the way. She's a resident of the city right in the heart of our town and been employed for a long time. And I think I think your comment is well received, and I think that's very good. Thank you. Who's next? Nobody just burning up with something to say? Now's the time to say it. We'd love to hear from you. This is y'all's business, not ours. We're just stewards of it.
Some of us burn out.
I'll burn out.
All right. Okay, Councilman, the citizens are at rest. They're rested. It's time for the council. Got any comments?
I have a burning comment.
All right.
The mayor and I met this morning, and this is to Dwayne, to you, and to Eric. The mayor and I met this morning for about an hour, and he went over several things that he would like to do. And I would ask that you take the time an hour or so to sit down with him and let him explain it to y'all, because I think he's on the right track on these things. And it takes a while to explain it all, right? It's not something you can just explain in a few minutes, and so if y'all will take the time to do that. And Bernice, could you mention to Mr. Bloodworth to do that also?
Yes, sir.
Since he's not here tonight.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
And thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. And we did have a very productive hour or so in there. And for the benefit of everyone that's here, we're looking at some good progress. There's a thing or two that's come along, that a little windfall of some funds is available to us to do some things in the city that I think is good. And I think that we did, and all of us are progressives. We want good things for the city of Hayward. That's what we're doing here. It's going to take a little work. It's going to take a little working, and we're going to have to be good administrators to get it all done. But it's very workable, and I certainly appreciate Tom's time. And if you gentlemen will come in and sit down, and we have our work session, we'll lay it all on the table, we'll get our advisors in, and we're going to try to do everything right. We're going to have all of our legal counsel here, Ms. Bennett and Mr. Smith here, and help us. And I think we can do some good, 2 or 3 real good things for our city, and I'm really anxious about it. So if you fellows will make the time to get with me, we'll be sure that all of y'all are informed as well. We're not working behind your back. We're just not quite ready to present it to you, because we might make some mistakes, and we want to get it all put together properly. Thank you, Tommy. Any other commissioner? We've got 5 minutes using our hour. We're doing pretty good. Right?
I know you passed citizen comments, but something just popped in my mind.
It's too late now.
I just got a question. When is the Downtown Development Authority going to be reestablished?
We going is.
We've already reestablished. I've dropped the ball. I haven't talked to them, and we're gonna get a meeting. And I'll tell you what, I'll let you know.
Well, one of the people that talked with y'all about that y'all did put on the board asked me about it in the last day or two. They said, they said, I haven't heard a word from anybody but you. So I will. I'll tell them that you're going to call them. Thank you.
Since she has brought that up, I've actually reviewed the bylaws for the DDA. We need to be looking for 2 more members.
I kind of wondered about that.
When I read the bylaws, it wanted 5, so there has to be 7.
Okay.
So you
Mr.
do
Smith?
remember that Kim Carter is on the DDA.
Oh, I thought it pretty much died.
She was the only member.
I went to
left.
one meeting and they quit.
And she's decorated for Christmas.
I learned apart.
All right, wait a minute.
Yeah,
Look
she's
here.
single-handedly
Mr.
decorated.
Smith, Ms. Bennett, would y'all check the Constitution and bylaws of the downtown area and advise us on, make sure that we got our numbers correct. And, Ms. Kim, are you willing to continue?
Yes, sir.
And,
In the meantime, Wanda will have a preliminary meeting just with them and Kim, the ones that want Kim will. Maybe we'll come up with some.
all right, thank you, Rhonda.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, yeah, we've, got a committee that we appointed, we thought was going, and they are, it's not, they're just like me and everybody else, we've covered up with sometimes more than we can do. But we've got some resources that we can use, and we want to do this, I'm sure they'll function, right away. Thank you. I still got 3 minutes.
You can adjourn early.
Mr. Johnson?
So move.
Mr. Johnson, who we adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Griffin. Any further discussion about the adjournment? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, big prayer.